Oh no, not another cheap knockoff Fender. Let's have a little look. That looks a little bit better made than normal. And the tone pot knobs are a little bit better made than the cheap tone pot knobs. Can't tell much by looking at the pickups, but the neck's nice. Let's take it over and have a look at the other side before we go up to the headstock. The back, it's a pretty color. I actually think it's slightly more green than what you see there. And then we have this. Oh, that makes a difference. It says made in Japan. Hello, made in Japan guitar. Well, let's take a look up here. Neck looks beautiful. Georgie Girl looks beautiful too, don't you? Yes. And she's nibbling at my hand. Why are you nibbling at my hand? Allow me to just do an intro to the guitar. And the tuners. Now, I have a whole pile of these tuners, but these are not the same type of tuner at all. These are a better quality tuner. But a guitar made in Japan, you would expect that. So let's just see what this guitar is. Oh, don't bang it about like that. So it's a Tokai Goldstar sound. And it says something there, very like a Fender would say. Oldies but goldies. Now I think that's is that the one that says the universe? No, the quality, I can't read it. You can read it. But the interesting thing about these guitars, I instantly liked it, even though nobody told me what it was about, because the shape of that head is just something a little bit different from a Fender, but sharp and clean and neat. And I haven't got a clue yet what make model number, with a T60 or a T50 or something else, but I'm going to take the neck off to have a look, so I should be able to be told. And I don't know what kind of Fenders, but this guitar you cannot buy for less than £500, even second hand. But we'll get more into it as we go along, because it could be even more expensive. Now, what do we see in the way of problems? What do I see there? Is that a problem? Let me just zoom in on this. Is that a problem? I don't think so. I thought it was a cut and a deep groove in the guitar. But that nut is beautifully done. That string is in the wrong place. That's an A string in a D string hole, and that looks like a D string in an A string hole. And it's not in tune, but it's very much in tune to an ordinary guitar. So those strings are not what they should be, the right way around. The pickups are far too low, and we'll check the neck and everything when we put the guitar, the big camera on up there. And Georgie Girl, could you just stop biting me? When you want something, you just keep on biting my hand, don't you? You're very naughty. What are you doing? Yeah, look, she's just nipping at my hand. Anytime I start to talk to someone, she gets jealous. Don't you get jealous? And for some reason, you don't like my hand tonight, and you've never been smacked. All right, let's get the big camera on. Well, I must admit, we're starting off very well indeed. I'm loving the look of this guitar. And now that I see the front tuners, it's my favorite type of tuner. Can I bring you down there to let you see it? It's the type I love the best. The one where you put the string in the hole, and then you wrap it around and across. That's the kind I like the best. And the only thing I would have of improvement of it would be locking nuts, but those are lovely tuners, and when I was loosening them, they feel really good. Such a difference in quality. They just feel really superb, and it's easy to get the strings on, and it's easy to get the strings off with that type of tuner. So we're going well here. I think we're going well. It's going to become a very nice guitar by the time I finish with it. The one thing I want to do is get the neck off and get that off as well, because want to see what's inside it. Want to see what kind of pickups it's got. it can make a difference to the sound quality on Tokai guitars. But there are Tokais made in China. They're not just as good, but we know this is a learn to speak English, Austin. We know this is a Japan guitar, and they, generally speaking, Japan guitars are just brilliant, you know. Generally speaking. Why the strings are on the wrong way around, I don't know. Maybe he ran out of strings and just decided. Why do I say it's a male? Why isn't it a female that ran out of strings and decided to put the A string where a D string should be and vice versa? Why? Maybe it was a female. Don't have an awful lot of. Do you know what's so annoying about this guitar? It all looks like a £19, $20 board where you can buy the fittings and the things and stick it on any guitar. But the more I dig into it, I discover that it's not. These are special pickups. They were given me, the name just escaped me now, but these are special pickups. These are quality potentiometers, and the switch is high quality too. Alinco magnets or something like that, I forget what it is. But I cannot find a serial number on this anywhere. And what's also annoying is that I can't tell what model it is. The Goldstar sound has been around for a while. Oldies but goldies. But the more I look at it, I see that everything's Goto tuners, Gotoh tuners, high quality, made in Japan. The neck is very good, solid maple neck, solid maple, and alder body split in two. That's alder. It's very high quality. The price of this, the date of this I can't find because there's no serial number. But looking at it and the quality of it, I think this would be about 2019, 2018, something like that there. Not that old. But the price, every time I look at it, I revalue it again, and I think it's probably going to be worth around £700 for this, because they're extremely well sought after. Very, very popular guitars because of the quality of them. So that's about all I can tell you, which is very annoying. This here looks like an ordinary cheap trem arm, but it's not. It's got names and all sorts of things with it, high quality. But I'm going to take off the back to see if there's anything we can find in it. The pots tell me about 2019, but all in all, it's a pretty nice guitar, and it feels good and it feels well. I did notice a little thing with it just there. Can you see right in the middle when I'm screwing this down? This looks like it's a chip of the gloss taken away. I'm not sure what I can do with that. I'm going to take the back off to see if there's anything more that I can identify it with. Because there's ASTs, there's TSTs, there's TST 59s, 43s, 61s. And they don't have a definitive listing. They've got all sorts of Tokai guitar forums, but they wander about. There was a Tokai website which listed all the makes, but it didn't list the makes of the Goldstar ones. There's Goldstar sound ones. And there's another one called Springy Sounds, which Stevie Ray Vaughan swears by and plays. So it would be lovely to identify it, but I think we might be on a hiding till nothing, love. They put their serial numbers everywhere at one stage. Usually they're there above the Made in Japan sign, and sometimes they can be there along the side, but there's not even a suggestion of a serial number here. There's not even a hint of a sticker being on there. The only identifying mark is the B that I showed you before, the B4. And I tried to look up things about it to see if it would tell me anything, but no, nothing. So the most difficult part of fixing this guitar, setting it up, is going to be the chip on that there. It's going to be, now you can see why it's quality. Look at the size of that block and the quality of these things. But they're very, very good guitar. had a few dings and scratches, but that all adds to the patina. So did I listen to this quote? Did I listen to the sound of this? No, I didn't. And I'll tell you for why, because I'm stupid. So let's just get back to real reality. I don't think I put this board on properly. There's something kept holding it and catching it. So I'm just going to check to see what it is that's holding it. What I'm going to do is clean it up now, quickly, and without the strings on it. Just quickly get that all out. This is a very good guitar. Very nice guitar. Feels good and everything. I just think it's needed a good setup because it was really not set up properly. I see some pen ink on that, which I may try a little cotton bud of acetone, to see if I can get it cleaned up. And I'm going to do a little bit of a on this. Quick clean up. It doesn't need that much. Right, I'm going to tighten those up because I don't think the truss rod is going to be. No, it's not. The oh, why is that not tightening? Those are good screws. You can tell from the quality of everything that I'm saying here that it's a quality guitar. They call this the lawsuit company, Tokai. But somebody told me there was never a lawsuit. It was the threatening of a lawsuit. Because they went out of their way when they first started off to copy Fender and Gibson guitars. And I think it was a threat of a lawsuit, but then again, I don't know. Maybe there was a lawsuit. Maybe they settled it. Maybe they agreed to stop. But whatever they did, they still continue to make great guitars. And people want them. So they must be great guitars if people want them. I think you can see the bit of blue ink there. Have to be very careful though, because that plastic will react with the acetone, so it has to be quick to get rid of it, and I have to have a steady hand. So let me just see. Right, I got rid of that quickly. That's good. That worked well. But I didn't want it to stay on the plastic too long. Estelle Lennon. Gotta go. Phone call. Somebody wants me. That was my daughter. Just looking some computer tuition tomorrow. And while she was talking to me, I carried on putting the guitar back together because the phone sits there and I can talk on loudspeaker. Actually, I prefer to talk on loudspeaker because I'm a lazy, so I don't like picking up the phone and putting it to my ear. So I'm just putting it together. I'm going to speed this a little bit up. I'm going to try to clean up that because that looks like a belt buckle scratch. It's actually, they sprayed, oh, can you not see it? Right, sorry, my mistake, sorry. They sprayed the guitar blue and then somebody sprayed a little slate green colour. It's had a ding. It's had a ding there too. There's nothing I can do about that. Nothing. I would just make a bigger mess. And there's a ding there as well, the end. The end of that. I would just make a bigger mess of it. But those bing dings mean nothing to it, because it's a lovely guitar. And there's a ding there. Don't matter, don't matter. Looks nice. Nice and shiny, nice, good. Right, and then I get the neck back on and test that electrics. Okay. Right, that's the neck back on, and I'm going to test the neck fret leveling now. Very good indeed. Nice job. something just up here that I just want to double check. Just that single one. And I'm just going to use the crowning file to bring that down a bit. Narrow frets. Even the frets have got a special name, but I can't think what they are now. Just going to bring that down a bit. And then I'll polish it. Just need that bit. And then I'll use the chrome gauge on it to polish it. Chrome gauge, what I mean by chrome gauge, I mean this thing here that I'm going to put my hands on in a second. You know, the ones that go across there and you can polish. Okay, right, lighters. Well, I'm going to try to do something with that little dinge. Tempted I could probably polish that down and make it look much the same, but I think it needs some coating on it, because that's where the thumb, you're going to be holding your thumb, and it might feel like a sharp edge. And the only thing that I can do, others might be able to strip the whole board down and do it. Only thing I can do is put a little drop of super glue on it gently, and you'll see how I'm going to do that. Just like this, and it'll change color, and it might add just a nice little bit of gloss to it. And if I have to, I'll use a razor blade and polish it. May not have to. What I'm trying to do is get to the edge of the crack so that I don't have a little gap there. And that now will sit like that until that goes rock hard. And we'll see what it's like when it's dried. Sometimes super glue can sink down to the bottom and bubble, and let's hope that's not the case. While that's drying, I'll show you something that I bought on Temu. It's a throwaway item, but if you've seen them, they're, oh God, they're hard to get open. They're a practice guitar, and you can practice your chords and your grip on them, but don't expect to get a tune of them, right? It's an actually ordinary guitar string, and it's tuned by using an Allen key down there to get the tune right. But you'd never, ever in a million years get the tune right, because you turn the Allen key a tiny, tiny touch, goes up 3 octaves. So maybe if someone's sitting on their settee, they can practice their chords. But don't expect to hear this right sound, but you could practice your chords. But it's a piece of shite. Excuse my French. It's rubbish. And I can't even think what use it would be. But I bought it knowing that it was going to be a piece of crap. I think it was 3 or 4 quid. But anyway, thought you might be interested. Okay. I'm going to give it a little clean, but whilst I clean it, I'm going to give you a little rundown of what's on it. So the tuners, they're special tuners, they're machine heads, they're Gotoh, Gotoh SD91-05Ms, and I must admit they feel beautiful. That's a cowbone nut. The neck itself, as I've already said, is solid maple. The bridge, when you get to the bridge, is a Tokai original STVK2 tremolo. Does that mean anything to you guys? Doesn't mean a lot to me, except for I know it's quality. But it looks exactly like some of the copies. You know the copies, but you can just tell by the manufacturing quality it's not like that. The frets even have a name. They're called Sanko SBB-214, medium size, made in Japan, it says. You think my memory's so good, eh? Canadian maple, 22 frets. The fingerboard is Canadian maple with 22 frets. And well, hold on a second, let me just see. No, it's all solid, one solid piece, so I don't know why they have it listed as 2 pieces. So, alder body in 2 pieces. And that's about all that's interesting. The pickups, 3 ST Vintage MK3s. Is that exciting? Is that exciting? Yeah, I don't know. Obviously you can tell I'm reading it off a piece of paper just out of your sight. Well, you can't, not quite out of your sight. Don't even know you can see that. But I thought you might be interested in that. I'm seeing some wear now that I've cleaned this. Some wear on the top frets. But I'm not inclined to do very much. Maybe I might run the rounded. I might give them a little bit of round because they've got a bit of wear. One of the other things that I'm doing an Inspector Clouseau on is the scratches on the fingerboards, which you can't see. They're long, fine scratches going this way, right across, down. And to me, it sounds like a rhythm guitarist. It looks like a rhythm guitarist, but country rhythm guitarist. So I must ask the owner to see if if he knows what the previous owner used it for. But I get the impression maybe I'm going too far with my Inspector Clouseau or Colombo imagination, but it does look like long, broad, what do you call it, strokes. This is going to take some water. This is going to take some water because it's ingrained into the frets. So let's just get this, a little bit of soap in it and there's some water in it. I'm going to use my rounder on the top frets. I was hoping not to have to do it, but yes, I do see somewhere there that does need to be rounded out a bit. You can't see it because it's pretty mild, but I think I'll just do that because this is such a nice guitar. It needs to be brought right up to as best as we can get it. And then I'm going to stick the strings on it. And cleaning guitar necks is boring, so hopefully I entertained you with facts. Amazing, I'm a spreadsheet guy. I love spreadsheets. Spreadsheets tell the story of the world, the history of the planet, facts and figures. And I love doing them. I managed a factory down in Cornwall, and they made, let me just get another bit of tissue, hold on, I'll come back with my story. The factory is called Franklin and Freeman, and my boss, chief executive, bought the Franklin and Freeman factory up and told me to go down and run it. That's what I did for a living. I went into different factories to pull them out of trouble. So when I went to Romford, Franklin and Freeman, they made what they were called commutators. They're little round things that go inside an electric motor, and it's the wire, the round wire that goes on the electric motors. But it's not just that. They made pure silver ones for submarines and things like that there. So to figure out the dimensions of the little things that went into it, they had an elderly chap of about 75 who was the only one that could figure it out because it was so complicated. Pi was used twice over in the complication. So I thought, well, we can't have that, because if he leaves or retires or anything like that there, we'll never get it. We'll never get somebody to take his place. So I spent 3 weeks on a spreadsheet copying what he did into it. Sums, fractions, divisions, pi, blah blah blah. And by the time I finished, I had 3 figures to put into the spreadsheet, and it came up with the exact dimensions. But that's why I love spreadsheets, because you can virtually do anything. They talk about accountants ruling the world, but it's not spreadsheets ruling the world. I don't apply spreadsheets to my guitar stuff though, because it's not business. But there you are, there's a boring story for you. Right, I'm still going to have to polish every one of these frets. I'm not going to do that on camera. I'll start the preps on camera, but you'll be bored to tears. What I'm going to do is this with some 2000 sandpaper, and I'll not waste the camera on that. Right, that's the strings on, and I have to tell you, I absolutely love those tuners. They're absolutely wonderful. They're smooth, responsive, but look at this, look. I can rub my fingers all against it and there's no blood. No blood at all. Because you put the string into the hole and you turn it around, and it's so easy to work. Now I've looked them up, and they're go-to tuners, and to buy these separately they're 60 quid. But I tell you, if it's a good guitar, these tuners are absolutely wonderful. Actually, everything on this guitar is in really good quality, and I really am happy with it. Now what I'm going to do is get it in tune and play a little tune on it. And it's, oh, I also checked the intonation and that action. Look at that action. You could die for that action. So the intonation's perfect and everything. So I'm going to get it in tune. Anybody any ideas how I do a guitar demo with a cat clinging onto my neck? Georgie Girl, how am I going to do this with you there? I know that you love me, but anyway, I'll try it. The Tokai, I am in total love with it. It is an absolutely gorgeous guitar through and through. Not just with the appearance of it, which is brilliant, but with the playability of it. It's gorgeous, and it's got action to die for. Yep. Way up there, and I can't do too much more because she's clinging on to me, and I can't play the chords I want to play with you because she's clinging on to me. So what do? But the sounds, let's just let you hear it with open. Front pickup, back pickup. It just sounds beautiful. I think it's coming into my favorite guitar of all time, because it's such a pretty and nice guitar to play that even I could play it if I could get my fingers around it. But Georgie Girl is too, and I can't even reach across to switch the camera off. So I'm going to have to set this down. Oh, sorry, my tuner off. So I'm going to have to set this down and just cuddle her until she decides she doesn't want cuddled anymore. So here, I'll set the camera down and I'll speed this up if she decides to stay for a while. Hello people, how are you doing? Notice the broom is the same color as the guitar. I like it, the broom handle. Georgie Girl, is this what you want? Is this really what you want? Just cuddles? Or are you looking for something else? I know, I love you too. You're my doll. You're my baby. You're my love. You're my angel. You're the feline of my dreams. And I want to tell you, Daddy's girl, I know. But Daddy would like to demo the guitar and send it back to its father. Send it back to its baby. Yeah? Are you going to go now? Oh no, you want more cuddles, closer cuddles. Right, okay. Daddy loves his baby girl. Oh, you're going to nip my cheek? She nips my cheek because she doesn't want to be disturbed. You just want to relax, don't you? There she goes. Right, this is all going to be sped up so we can get back to doing the guitar. Oh, if you ever get back to doing the guitar. You know you're running out of space. You're costing pixels on the camera. My iPhone is recording me cuddling a baby girl. What is it you want? I was out all day. Maybe that's why she loves this cuddling. If my friend was here and she's like this, she gets a bit cross because I'm talking instead of paying attention to her. And she would smack me in the face. Not with her claws, though. Are you getting bored now? Are you getting bored? Are you getting bored? Right, okay. You're not getting bored. No, she's not getting bored. Sorry about this, peeps. I think she's getting a little bit bored now. can't switch. I can't reach the camera. There's the button. I can't reach it. Oh, do you hear a car going past? That gets you excited. Did you want to go down? No, she doesn't want to go down. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? That didn't like me. What am I going to do to say you care? What am I going to say when it's all over? Sorry, is that you? There she goes. My goodness. But she takes first place over everybody. Right, okay. We're back to this. It doesn't need to be tuned because those tuners are to die for. I dropped the plectrum. Another plectrum. Now this is a guitar amp that's completely neutral. I bought a shirt from Temu, collar sleeve. Sleeves are a bit long. Although I make a new style. This is a new, the late, of course, is this not an old style? Having your shirt sleeves out? Anyway, here we go. But it sounds gorgeous. Right, it's going back to that. I have to play my chord again. Let me just check to see if it's in good tune, because my chord doesn't sound good if it doesn't be in perfect tune. So let me get through this. Going home to Daddy. That is a lovely guitar. Really like it. Say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Bye-bye. Say goodbye to Georgie Girl too. Bye-bye.